Hello, learners. Let us start class 11 Economics, Microeconomics, Chapter 1 Introduction. Every field of study has its own language and its own way of thinking. For example, mathematics talks about algebra, arithmetic, science deals with experiments, accounts deals with profit and loss, income and expenditure, and so on. Economics is no different. An economist's language consists of terms like demand, supply, market, etc. Before we start the meaning of economics, let us first understand the meaning of economy. What is an economy? An economy is a system which provides people the means to work and earn living. So, economy is an organization that provides living to the people. It makes use of the available resources to produce those goods and services that people want. For example, in our economy consists of all sources of production, that is in agriculture, industry, and tertiary sector such as transport and communication, banking, etc. What are the activities of economy? Economy deals with this following three activities: production, consumption of produced goods and services, and capital formation or investment. These economic activities are known as the essentials or the vital activities of an economy. Why do we study economics? We study economics because of scarcity of resources in relation to unlimited wants, and resources can be put to alternative uses. For example, you can say we attend school to get educated or to be able to earn livelihood. It means that our activity of education is conducted for a specific reason. Economics is studied because it enables us to understand different aspects of the economy. Now let us understand what is scarcity and how scarcity and choice go together. Scarcity refers to the limitation of supply in relation to demand for a commodity. It refers to the situation when wants exceed the available resources. As a result, goods are not readily available and society does not have enough resources to satisfy all the wants of its people. Scarcity is universal. Scarcity of resources calls for economizing of resources. What is economizing of resources? Economizing of resources means that resources can be used for its best. That is optimum utilization of resources. So if we want to satisfy our unlimited wants out of limited resources, that resources must be utilized to their fullest extent. What is economic problem? Economic problem, it comes with our unlimited wants and the means to satisfy our wants are limited. Therefore, all our wants cannot be fulfilled. In order to maximize satisfaction, every consumer exercises choice as to which goods should be consumed and in what quantity. Therefore, an economic problem is basically a problem of choice. So, economic problem is a problem of choice involving satisfaction of unlimited wants out of limited resources having alternative uses. Why are there economic problems? Economic problems, there are three reasons. One is limited supply of resources, that is scarcity of resources. Resources, what are the resources? Resources of land, labor, capital are limited in relation to their want. An economy cannot produce all what people want. It is the basic reason for existence of economic problems in all economics. Scarcity is universal and applies to all individuals, organizations, and countries. There would have been no economic problem if resources were unlimited. Next is unlimited human wants. Human wants are never ending. They can never be fulfilled or satisfied. As soon as one want is satisfied, another new want emerges. Wants of the people are unlimited and keep on multiplying and cannot be satisfied due to limited resources. Another thing we can say that the human wants are also different priorities. We know that all wants are not equal intensity. For every individual, some wants are more important and urgent as compared to others. Due to this reason, people allocate their resources in order to preference to satisfy some of their wants. If all wants had been equal importance, then it would have become impossible to make choice. For example, suppose you have a limited resources, that is rupees 10 rupees with you, and you have two commodities, one chocolate, another one is pen. The cost of pen is 10 and one chocolate is rupees 10. Now you have to buy the product which you prefer. If you think that you need the pen, then you'll buy the pen. Then you have to go without chocolate. And if you want chocolate, then you have to buy the chocolate and you will go without pen. So it depends upon you. You have a priority list and which will be preferred by you, you will buy it. Next is alternative uses of resources. Resources are not only scarce, but they can also be put to various uses. It makes choice among resources more important. For example, we can say that the same example we can say that if you 10 rupees can buy pen or it can buy the chocolate. So it can be used to buy pen or to buy chocolate. Now we know the resources. What are the resources? What are its features? Resources have two features. Resources are limited in supply in relation to unlimited human wants. And all the resources, or you can say most of the resources, can be put to several uses. What are the features of human wants? Human wants are unlimited. That is, when one want is satisfied, the another one starts. And number two, wants differ in priorities. What is economics all about? Economics is all about making choices in the backdrop of scarcity of resources. Economics is defined as a social science which studies the way a society chooses to use its limited resources, which have alternative uses, to produce goods and services and to distribute them among different groups of people. So, economics is a social science. Why it is called social science? Because it has systematic and organized body of knowledge as science. And economic deals with the study of human behavior. Therefore, it is a social science. Economics has a positive science and economics as a normative science. So let us know what is positive science. Positive science means when economics decisions or economic statements which are based on actual or fact, real situation, fact. For example, India is mixed economy. India has the population of 130 crore. These are the examples of positive science which are real. And normative science, economics has a normative science based on ought to be or based on individual's opinion. That means these statements may or may not be correct. It may or may not be. For example, that to reduce the poverty, employment generation program such as MGNREGA can be helpful. Okay. Next is branches or strands of economics. Economics are of two types, microeconomics and macroeconomics. Let us find out what is microeconomics and macroeconomics and what are their difference. Microeconomic deals with individual units of an economy. Is demand, B is demand, C is demand, D is demand, like this. A is supply, B is supply, C is supply. On the other hand, macroeconomics deals with aggregates and averages of the economy as a whole. Means it deals with the economy as a whole. Deals with the country's problem. It deals with the country, whole country. Means all the people's demand, all the suppliers supply in an economy. Next, tools. Demand and supply are the main tools of microeconomics. On the other hand, aggregate demand and aggregate supply are the main tools of macroeconomics. Microeconomics determines the price of a commodity or factors of production, such as price of a pen, price of a car, price of a bike, price of a pencil. These are studied in microeconomics. Whereas macroeconomics determines the income and employment level of the economy. Full employment, underemployment, overemployment, inflation, deflation. All these are explained in macroeconomics. Microeconomics is also known as price theory. It is the alternative name of microeconomics. Price theory because it determines the price of a commodity or the factor or the service. Macroeconomics, its alternative name is income and employment theory. That's why it is called income and employment theory. It determines the full employment, overemployment, underemployment of an economy. Examples: microeconomics, it studies individual demand, individual supply, market theory, whereas macroeconomics, it studies national income, price level, unemployment problem, total investment, total saving, etc. of an economy. Central problems of an economy. The problem of making a choice among alternative uses of resources is known as basic or central problem of an economy. There are many central problems of an economy, but we'll study here the problem of allocation of resources, and under this, the three problems. Problem of allocation of resources means distribution of resources. What are the problems associated with it? The first problem, what to produce and in what quantity. What to produce refers to a problem in which decision regarding which goods and services should be produced is to be taken. Since its resources are limited, every economy has to decide what commodities are to be produced and in what quantities. In a view of limited resources, when we produce more of a good, it means we will be able to produce less of another. Because more production of one commodity would force us to withdraw resources from the production of the other commodity. So the economy has to choose between capital goods like machines, tools, etc., civil goods like clothes, watch, radio, etc., consumer goods like wheat, clothes, shoes, sugar, etc., military goods or defense goods like guns, bombs, tanks, etc., necessities of life, and luxury goods, etc. The guiding principle of an economy here is to allocate resources in such a way that gives maximum aggregate utility, that is satisfaction, to the society. The second problem deals with how to produce. How to produce refers to a problem in which decision regarding which techniques of production should be used. Goods and services can be produced in two ways: by using labor intensive techniques and by using capital intensive techniques. Under labor intensive techniques, more of labor and less of capital per unit of output is used in producing goods and services. While in capital intensive technique, more of capital and less of labor per unit of capital is used. Thus, the economy has to decide whether the chosen goods and services should be produced with the help of machines or handicrafts, labors. Every method of production has its own advantages and disadvantages. For example, capital intensive techniques will find more production but unemployment problem, and labor intensive technique less production and it solves the unemployment problem. For example, an economy can decide which technique of production should be used for its production process. America can use the capital intensive technique because it has abundance of capital, and India can use labor intensive technique because it has abundance of labors. Third problem deals with problem for whom to produce, or it is also known as distribution of income. The problem of distribution of income. For whom to produce refers to a problem in which decision regarding which category of people are going to consume a good, economically poor or rich. As we know, goods and services are produced for those who can purchase them or have the capacity to buy them, means those who have purchasing power. Capacity to buy depends upon how income is distributed among the factors of production. The higher the income, the higher will be the capacity to buy, and vice versa. So this is a problem of distribution of income. We know that whole output is distributed among factors of production which have contributed to it. It has two sides. One is personal distribution, another one is functional distribution problems. As we have come to the end of this topic, now let us sum up with the question on your screen. You just will practice the sample questions and make the screenshot of every slide which will help you to answer these questions. Thank you.